Wow, what a powerful sentence, right? It really gets at this huge shift in how we can think about our pet's health. It's the difference between just going along for the ride and actually being in the driver's seat.
And that's exactly what we're going to talk about today, how you can become your cat's #1 advocate. And we'll do it by exploring this really amazing approach called integrated pet care. So, you ready? Let's get into it.
Okay, here's how we're going to break it down. We'll kick things off with a really powerful story. Then we'll dig into the mindset you need to adopt. And finally, the best part, an actual action plan that you can start using right away. All right, first up, a story of hope. And believe me, this story really shows why thinking differently about our cat's health is just so important. So I want you to meet Ike. When he first came to the author as a foster, he was really in rough shape. His original owner had tried everything they could think of, spent a ton of money on vet bills, and just wasn't seeing any improvement. And, how many of us have been there? That feeling of hitting a wall. It's just the worst. And this really breaks down the difference, doesn't it? On one side, you have the conventional way. You follow the vet's orders and just kind of hope for the best. But on the other side, that's the advocate's path. It's about becoming a partner with your vet. It means paying super close attention and just refusing to believe that nothing more can be done. This right here, this is the fundamental shift. Okay, so how do we actually make that shift? How do we get from one side to the other? Well, that brings us right to our second section, the advocate's mindset. And it's all built on 5 key principles. But before we jump into those principles, I want you to look at this number, 85%. Have you ever had that little nagging feeling, where you just know something's off with your cat, even if all the tests come back normal? Well, it turns out that your gut instinct is right about 85% of the time. That's huge. Which leads us straight to principle number 1. Your instincts matter. You know your cat better than anyone. The others are just as important. You want to integrate different kinds of care, not isolate them. Remember that small, tiny changes really add up. Every single cat is an individual. And of course, the big one, prevention is always better than treatment. So let's really define this term, integrated care, because it's super important. This is not about ditching your vet or ignoring modern medicine. No way. It's about enhancing what your vet does. It's about adding other tools to your toolbox, things like acupressure or special probiotics. But the absolute key is that your primary vet is always in the loop. They're your partner in this. And here's a perfect real-world example. The author's cat Kit had this stubborn health issue. The usual diet changes just weren't cutting it, so they tried chiropractic adjustments, and it worked. It made all the difference. But here's the crucial part. His regular vet was involved the entire time, keeping an eye on his blood work. You see, that's perfect integration in action. Okay, so that's the big idea, the whole philosophy. But knowing something is one thing. Actually doing it is something else entirely, right? So now, let's get to the really good stuff, your action plan, how we turn all this knowledge into reality.
The best part is, this is so manageable. You don't have to do everything all at once. Tomorrow, you can do these 3 simple things. Then, over the next month, you can branch out of it. And over the course of a year, you can build this amazing support system for your cat. It's all about small, steady steps.
And what's really beautiful about this is that it doesn't stop with just your cat. The author makes it so clear that the goal is to lift up the whole community. When you become a better advocate for your own pet, you gain this knowledge that can help so many other cats who might not have a voice. And this is what it's all about. These aren't just abstract ideas. They lead to real-world happy endings. We're talking about cats like Johnny, who was literally labeled unadoptable, now thriving. Or Sage, who had given up on eating, now playing with a toy mouse. All because someone decided to step up and be their advocate. So the real takeaway here is just empowerment. This isn't some secret knowledge that's reserved for a handful of experts. It's not. You now have the framework, you have the tools to make a huge difference. You can do this. You've got this. So let's just end with this thought. After everything we've talked about, the question isn't whether you can be a better advocate. The question is, what's your first step going to be? Your cat is so incredibly lucky to have you. So, what's the one thing you'll do for them tomorrow?